All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna go ahead and do a analysis of some of the games that I have played so far. What I want to do is an analysis of one game per set I've had or per episode. So. My first set, unfortunately, I have to go to my YouTube channel. I have to re-record my YouTube video because I didn't save the file for my Games versus Shadow. But I think the game that I personally like, I had a lot of games I really liked against Shadow. I really liked the first OVC I won. That was a fantastic game. But I'll have to say that my favorite game that we played was probably this one right here. The EVO or OVE. Really enjoyed this game a lot. So let me turn this down a little bit. So basically my game plan going into this was go ahead and do Sword Start. I think Sword Start is best. I don't know. Arch Start's pretty good too. I like Sword Start a lot though, just because you can pressure the miners shortly. You know, you can pressure for tower and then you can go straight in to kill some miners. So
I don't think it's working.
I did some thinking back when I tried to beat Facufer a while ago on what the best strategy is against Elemental. And I think there's a certain macro you can get that Elemental really struggles with. So because once you hit a few ninjas, a few mages, and one giant, I don't really know what... If you can survive up to that point, I feel like Order kind of gets the game. So...
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that point. I'm just kind of fighting for tower right now. See if I want to see if I actually got tower at all. So this is an extremely important thing when you do the Sword Start. Yep, yeah. So I let him get tower there, and you can see that when the game starts right here. So this is so the game loads in right here. So my sword should pretty much be queued right now. In order, because you have to insta-queue the sword in order to contest tower, and you don't want to let Elemental get the tower. It's easy to do, and pretty much the only way I found to consistently deal with this is to spam your hotkeys as the game is loading in. But don't I find that sometimes, especially if you do Archer Start, if you frantically spam, queues will go in wrong, and sometimes you'll actually mess up your start even more. So I just will spam 1 2 1 2 1 2 rather than just go absolutely crazy with it. I'll just quickly press 1 2 in that order to select the miner and the sword. Because I don't want to I feel like sometimes I don't want to accidentally queue up 3 miners, or something stupid like that, and then I'm in an even worse position.
Yeah, I do. I played against Vacuum. I think I can.
So he got tower there. That's okay, I pushed him off, though. We already saw this, just fighting for tower. So I get tower here. He goes for a really early error this game.
Ethan, you couldn't possibly lose to Elemental, right?
Well...
Yeah, so as soon as I see the error, I'm instantly going into archers. Actually, I already have an archer, so that's good. I don't remember when I queued that up.
Yes. Oh no.
Okay, so this is important. I'm being overly cautious with the archer. You want to be overly cautious, especially when you're dealing with a little higher ping. You want to do everything very... Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. So you want to do everything preemptively with that archer, just because you get punished pretty hard if you take one hit from the air. So kind of be a little safe with everything. And you'll notice that I also send a sword straight onto tower. But it's not till after I click G. And that's an important, like, it's small stuff like that that will really help you to micro and stick empires is I click G before I select the sword, because if I don't click G, that archer's only going to run back to the point where he's selected to. So I click it right now.
Oh, no.
All right, and then I click my sword onto tower, and then I'm right back on my archer. Okay.
Jeez.
And all my work, you're gonna see this 100 million times, freaking every game. Half of my micro and stick empires is with the space button in the mini map. It gives you such speed, it's crazy. So okay, so like you kind of have to use that too, because like if I want to control my swords, like right here, I'm working on my swords. I want to figure out what's going on here. I'm busy with my swords. But my archer, this air is moving forward into my archer, and my archer's moving into this air. I don't have time to sit here and click on my mini and like scroll to my archer and then select my archer. By that time, it'll be too late. He'll have taken damage. So in this situation, if you want to instantly move back, and you know this moves all your units, but that's really not a big deal. It's definitely worth it, especially because these swords really aren't doing much right now. You just click space. Here, I clicked it right there. And then you can see, I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit so you guys can hear the clicks, because hearing the clicks helps you guys to understand exactly what's going on with my micro. I'm hitting that mini-map. So space, then right-click that mini-map. All right, so just then, and if the ping were a little better, a little bit earlier, this archer's instantly. I mean, and this error went from like here to the first dead tree to like the second dead tree or so, roughly. That's all the space he got.
Jeez.
In fact, he probably would have died had I not done that. You gotta be fast. Dude, space is everything. Space is so good. You got to be using the space bar. I click that so many times per game. I probably use the space bar 100 times a game or more. Probably well over that. I don't know. So now I got tower, so that's good.
Hold on.
Okay, now I'm just playing the spacing game right now. I want to get as many shots out and take as little as I can. In fact, you have to, or else you won't win with the archers. So I went ahead, I retreated that archer because he's 2 hits away from dying. He has 2 airs, which means if those airs get 1 volley on that archer, he's dead. So he's a liability, and I want him gone. Now I'm just spacing here. I want to get some, just 1 on mana. I don't need a lot. I need to keep the light units going right now, because this is why you need a lot of light units. I mean, when you're looking at around, it's 317 at this point in the game. Sorry guys, getting a little distracted. So yeah, around 3 minutes or so into the game, Element is going to make that really big push for tower, and they want tower. That's all Elemental wants is tower. And you want to stop that. And you can do that if you have a lot of light units. You know, 3, 5 swords, a handful of archers, and even that's really hard. I killed an air there. He killed an archer. I just killed a tree. So this is all in my favor right now. He's out of range. I try to move past to kill it. It's not in range though. And then that's good for me. So pretty much the game is basically won from this point forward. I played overly, and you can see that now I go like triple mana, because it's like now I have a minute to breathe, you know, like I don't need to I got the initial push for tower over with. That was a good snipe from him. I shouldn't have approached there with my archers and with that archer there. He was just a liability. That's good for me when the tree death roots are staggered like that. Because if you have both on off cooldown at the same time, well, then you can insta kill archers as soon as you approach. And now that his death root is staggered, that's what I want, you know, because I have his cooldown in my head this whole time. So I'm just economying like freaking mad right now, like absolute crazy. And I'm also going to mana up here because I want to get I want to get mana units out very quickly. And I believe a mage is kind of highest priority there.
How's the game going?
Pretty good. I managed to push him off tower.
Holy shit, there's swords.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Oh. Oh my.
This is a long game. I'm maybe going to skip a few parts of this just because this is going to take a long freaking time if I don't skip a little bit. Normally I want to do that when analyzing a game, but
You should.
this took freaking forever.
Maybe.
So nothing really happens right here. Is I'm just trying to get miners, trying to get my passives, trying to get... Because my highest priority units right now are my mage,
Wait,
my spells,
crawlers have
my
the same
ninja. So
sound
there's my
as-
ninja.
What are those called? Scorpling?
Yeah.
More of them. Then throw a Merrick in there. A Spiriton. Then a giant when I can. That's my macro. There's my other passive. There's a wall. Keeping my swords. The swords are useful. So I just got tower this whole time, and I'm doing what I want. And this is just good for me. This persists for quite a while here. Got my wall set up. Got my ninja out now. I see a cycloid. You notice I'm raining down those fire arrows. I really like doing that, not just because it's good damage, but it's also data collection. You really want to be getting intel on your enemy. Okay, this is important. This is really important. And Facu Fairy gets credit for this. This is essential. So I have two walls here. Typically, when you do this, you just want to put both your walls as far out as you can and basically put them in the same spot. Well, against Elemental, you don't want to do that in this situation. I want my ninja in between my two walls, so, and then my mage behind both my walls. And that is because if this guy gets possessed, I don't want him to kill my mage. If both my walls are where these swords are at, and he possesses my ninja, this mage is dead unless I don't invest in Shinobi 2, which is a strategy I've done and it does work, is to never purchase Shinobi 2. Because your opponent will never know when you have Shinobi 2. Like, they'll never really know at that moment you have it, so they pretty much always respect your ninja as if he does, to break the V possession. So that's one strategy, is never get Shinobi 2. But I like Shinobi 2 recently. I've stopped doing the whole Shinobi 1 only thing. And I just, for defensive, when I'm on defense like that, I just position my units in that way. And a second mage out.
Excite.
Really nothing happening right now. I'm just raining down fire arrows, getting more and more units. There's the first possess. Kills an archer, not a big deal. I'm almost at max supply anyway. These archers aren't overly valuable. Not losses I want to have, but not losses that are the end of freaking the world. See that all my units are positioned just the way I want it. He's gonna kill another archer here. Actually, no, he won't. Well, he may. I'm able to actually try and defend this one. A good micro on his part there.
Wait.
Got that Spiriton on tower. I don't want to lose my tower, so...
Wait, so we just dodged the shiny?
Yeah. Elemental units are extremely hard to hit with Shinobi.
No?
At this point, it would probably be wise for me to have my ninjas outside both my walls, and then my mage behind just one wall, so I'm a little further forward. But it's not a big deal. I think I stack my swords here, which I don't know how I feel about that. I guess with the amount of bank I have, I think it's acceptable. Yeah, that's acceptable, with kind of, I guess. Alright, so we have an attack incoming. And I have a giant in the queue. And tower spawn 1. Okay. So this basically all comes down to the mages here. This is something I like to do when I'm fighting somebody, is I look at their army and I assess basically what is the greatest threat here. So in my army, I have, basically the greatest threat I have is 2 mages. Sometimes chaos will, I don't know, chaos, your opponent will do this where it'll seem like they have a lot, but they actually don't. They'll have like a marrow, and then a Medusa, and then like 2 jugs and a dead. And it's like, okay, if you just get rid of the marrow and the Medusa, everything else really isn't going to do anything. And that's kind of what I got going on here. So, and this build definitely is highly invested into the mages. The mages are kind of key for this build. So he throws a possess down. Being patient with my ninjas. You know, I notice I'm being really patient right now, you know, especially against chaos with your shinobis. You just wait on those shinobis. You don't have to urgently throw them out there. Let your opponent use up his spells, his possesses, his reaps, his whatever, and then throw your shinobis out. And be careful with them. Be methodical. Make sure they go down. That's a good protection. And you notice how I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need to go attack. I need to move my mages out and then blast them and all that stuff. I'm not doing that. As soon as I move, he's being patient. He's got a ninja of mine locked back there. As soon as I move past tower, he's gonna pop a mage. Well, then I'm in trouble. And besides, what am I gonna do? E-wall this? Well, he can just move forward and go after my mages. Walls are everything, dude. Walls are freaking everything. Let's see what happens here. And because of that, I actually probably shouldn't even be trying to defend tower right now. I think I should move my Spirit back against the tower, because I'm not really going to successfully defend it. He uses the Shinobi, so now I know that he has nothing to directly threaten my mages here, unless he just tries to throw everything at it. So now I'm moving forward with the mages. Throwing E-wall. And then I defend. Okay, now, at any point in time, had I freaked out there and been like, oh my gosh, I need to attack with my mages, and I need to do all this crap, and I'm panicking, and I wouldn't have been in that position, because I stayed calm. I had my units doing exactly what I wanted them to do the whole time. I lost a ninja and a Spiriton, and I think the other ninja survived. I'm pretty sure I had both my ninjas. And then I just keep, and this is kind of why I said this game was a little longer than it needed to be. I think I could have killed him earlier if I wanted to, but I just wanted to play so careful. So he attacks here. You see, none of my spellcasters go past that wall, but my ninja stays in front of the wall, so he can't shinobi any of my spellcasters here. I need to move that giant forward, throw my E-walls down. Throw my E-walls down way too late here. This isn't good. Getting the secondary wall. I wanted to get that secondary wall down further forward, but I didn't. This giant is in danger. He needs to go back. I'm just trying to throw my spells out. Every time you have a spell off cooldown, you gotta be using it. You don't want a lingering spell. And this is why E-wall and walls are so good, is when Elemental throws all these free mana units that they get at you, they all cluster against the wall, and then you can just E-wall the crap out of them. And now, all his units are gone. And then if I land a single freaking... That was a good move on his part there. I like the Inferno. If I land a single poison, it's really good for me. So I'm moving my units out of the range of the embers, and then I try to contest tower here, but I'm not able to do that, so I just fall back here. And then I need to press for tower again. I accidentally purchased a freaking elbow, and I didn't mean to do that. But honestly, the owls would be all right in this position. Owls, it's like the only position in the game where freaking owls don't suck. But yeah, so he throws a water down because he has to heal, and you always want to force elemental to use those heals when you can. So ninjas back in front, mages behind the wall. So mages are protected. And like it just makes it so hard for elemental to approach to mages when you can't kill them like that. And then ninjas back in front. My E-walls here. Now this is a really good position for me. All these units here just E the E-wall. So good. I kind of chickened out a little bit there. I think I could have defended that a little bit longer. That was a good spell utilization on Shadow's part here. Really good utilization. So he kills a mage there, which is good for him. That was a good play. But look what he has. And you know, back in the day, like 2015, 2014, Elemental was considered underpowered, which is not at all the consensus you have now. Kinda. But it was considered underpowered because it never had a late game unit. And I actually, looking back at that, I thought it was always stupid, but now I look at it and I'm like, Elemental actually doesn't have a late game unit in and of itself to respond to a lot of the late game units that Order has. And I think it's kind of true. I mean, like he has all these light units and then they die, and then it's like, what does he have left, you know? So now I'm pressing out for tower here. I'm kind of taking the initiative. And back to my wall. I should have rebuilt that secondary wall. It's too low HP. It's just gonna die. I want to put my stronger giant in front rather than the weaker one. And then all those units see the E-wall and they're gone. So that's another thing about this build is like the ninjas are really strong even when they're unshinobied. And that's the thing, when you get 2, 3, 4 ninjas, you can just A-move them and just attack like normal, and they just start killing stuff really quickly. I mean, 4 ninjas unshinobied is in and of itself a huge threat to V. So when you kind of hit that critical mass of ninjas, you have a few mages, you have a giant or two, like exactly this. I just don't know what Elemental can do. And my goal every OVE has pretty much to survive up to this point. And now, you know, he's had all these attacks he's thrown at me and nothing has stuck. I just played patiently. In fact, I played overly patiently. Again, I think I could have won earlier. But like, I try to be really patient in Stake Empires. It's like, when I have tower, when I have what I want, I'm comfortable with that, and I'm just gonna sit on my walls, sit at my tower, build that advantage until I'm at my, you know, death ball composition, and then I'm chilling. And he attacks again here, and this time I don't even have to rely on my towers, on my walls very much. Double shinobi. That was perfect timing on the weak Shinobi on the weak ninja there. And see how much, like, work the Merrics are doing? The Merrics saved that one ninja. I don't know if Merrics do, like, bonus heal the ninjas or something. That's a question 75 if you're watching this video. Please comment down below if Merrics do bonus healing to ninjas. But, like, Merrics heal the frick out of ninjas, dude. I've noticed that, like, ninjas are almost freaking invincible when like 3 Merrics are around. It's such a good build. It's kind of a cute little exchange here. Nothing wild. And you can poke around and do stuff like this, but it won't. None of it's gonna get worthwhile value just because I have so much more stuff at this point. I just continue chilling, and then I get my tower spawn too. I have 80 supply of almost all army. I hardly have any miners left at this point, I think. I don't know, I have a decent amount actually. Looks like 12 or so. Still a lot. I have another giant on the way. At this point, I can just walk in and win, and he can't really do much about it. Letting those ninjas kind of lag behind, you know. Through the E-wall, kind of like... It's always hard to say where to put those E-walls, because if you put them here, well then everybody just moves past and attacks your mages. But then if you put them on your mages, then they just attack the giants. So it's like, I kind of put them in between where like I can move either unit on the E-wall if I want to. Kind of a tough decision. He's got a double possess, but now I just run in with the Shinobi. It's a really good E-wall for him. He's gonna kill, I think, all 3 of my Merrics here. No way, 2 Merrics survived. They must have killed each other. So now the V's are out of the picture. Again, it's like, what response do you have for the mages? Of course, he did kill 1 there, so that's good, but now he has nothing left. So this was a long game. I mean, I skipped a lot of this game.